and I am back like I never left. So listen, I was doing some dowsing earlier, right? As is the norm for me nowadays. But I was doing some dowsing and I was dowsing, sending some good energy, sending love and healing energy to some people. Something I do daily. But I had the thought and I said, how much does this dowsing and sending energy for other people, just healing, loving energy, right? Just some good stuff. How much does that stuff benefit me? Because I'm doing this out of kindness, out of love, out of wanting to be beneficial to others, right? And I'm not asking for anything in return, and obviously not telling anybody that I'm doing it. It's just like I'm doing it, and I was like, what is the benefit for me by doing this? And I had the thought and I said it aloud and I knew the answer. I knew the answer already, but I was just like, well, I'm going to still douse it and figure out the because that's just kind of what it is, right? You start doing this and then you like want to douse everything because it's fascinating, but it also helps practice and confirmation. So, and the benefit to doing that for myself as the practitioner was like it was 100% beneficial. And I was just like, and I knew that already, but it's kind of like it was it did something to me. It was empowering in a way. It was really neat. I felt like I'm doing this to benefit other people, and yet I'm still getting the reciprocal benefit by me sending good energy, good thoughts, love, healing energy to other people. I benefit from that. And I said, okay, I want to make a video. Ooh, it seems a little. I want to make a video about that because I think it's extremely profound. Now, this isn't like groundbreaking. At least I don't think. I don't think this is something that hasn't been spoken on before. Or that maybe it's not like, oh, you've never heard it. But I think there are times when you hear stuff and it kind of goes in one ear and out the other because you're not quite ready to hold on to it yet. Maybe there's a lesson in there for you that you're just not ready to receive yet. And then when it's delivered in another way at another time, maybe by another person, it kind of resonates with the knowing that's been in you that you just consciously kind of let go of. And then it helps to bring you back to a certain place. So it's it's a really powerful thing to know that what you do has reciprocal, let's not even say reciprocal benefit, just reciprocal impacts, because this goes beyond just what's beneficial to you. And this is the other side of it. If there's a reciprocal benefit in your favor when you send loving, healing, energy to other people, oh, you can do it, supporting energy to other people. It's the same thing when you send anger, hate, screw that person, when you're doing all that, same thing. And it goes back to who said it? Was it a Indian guru? Was it Buddha? Can't remember, but it's just like I heard this. And I was like, that's brilliant, But when you're holding the hot coal, it's like, and well, anger is like holding a hot coal. So it's like you feel it and you're holding it and hoping to burn the other person, but the only person you're burning is yourself. It's not actually doing anything to the other person. Now, what I'm understanding is there is still energy sent, right? There is still energy sent to the other person, um, and depending on the level, the heat of the the anger that you're experiencing when you send it and you're doing certain stuff can result in you know varying degrees of effects. But the point is, it still hurts you. It actively hurts you. And I think that that's really powerful to realize that that is the case, because there is a you can purposely do things that benefit other people, and you also get the reciprocal benefit. You can do things from the kindness of your heart for the benefit of others, and know that you are still getting the that feeling when you do something kind, like when you genuinely do something kind. I don't mean when you're doing something because it looks good in front of people, or you got a camera, and you're posting it on social, and blah blah blah. But when you genuinely do something out of the kindness of your heart, it does. For me, I've always noticed that. Quick story. Years ago, how many years ago? Let's just say like 10 years ago. I was at the gas station in Delaware visiting my family, and there was this little boy and his mom, in the gas station, Wawa, if you're familiar. And I saw him, and I got my stuff, whatever I was getting, and then I had like a 10 in cash on me. I don't usually carry cash, so I had it like a 10 in cash on me, and I saw him, and I saw something. When I saw the little boy, I saw something. So I walked up. His mom had the back turned. I had my 10. I slid it to him in his hand. I saw his eyes light up, and then I walked out. And it was just like, as I'm walking out, I'm hearing the, oh my gosh, mom, this guy, he just gave me $10. And it was just like, it was something about it. Even now, it's like, I remember, it's coming up. I remember the joy, because when you're 7 years old, you don't have any money, and you have to depend on your parents, obviously, and you can't really, if you want some snacks or whatever, you can't do it. You always gotta ask. So when you have a little money, we got a little money in your pocket, it's just like, oh, okay, I got a little something, and it's cool, right? But here's the thing. It took me back about, well, at this point, let's just say 25 years or so. I don't know. But when I was about 8 or 7, 8, 9 years old, I was at the gas station. It was me and my mom, and no, it was me and my brother, me and my older brother. And I had my, it was wintertime. I had my gloves on or whatever, and I was just standing there. And gloves, they're thicker or whatever. So it's like my hand had space, for something to go in there, and I'm just sitting there chilling, and I feel a little on my hand, and I look over my shoulder, and this big guy. I mean, well, he was big to me because I was a child, and he had this, had this beard, and his flushed cheeks. I want to say kind of looked like Santa, just like a big guy with a big white beard or whatever, um, and a beanie on. And he looks at me, and he gives me the little salute, and he walks out, smiling and salute, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So in that moment, it was like now obviously the time frame is really big, but it's kind of like paying it forward. Just that just that energy. And for him, I got, it was $5, whatever. It's the 90s now. In the 90s, $5 for a little $5 went a long way in the 90s. Okay, there's a lot of treats that you could get. This was back when shoot, they still had penny candy rolling around, like on a little bit. And well, some of them, you can still get some things for a nickel. You can still get a pack of gum for 25 cents. The 5 pack of gum for 25 cents. I think you get a Snickers bar for 50 cents back then. So, that $5 went a long way back then. It was nothing to the man, but it felt so good to me. And it's something, clearly, obviously, that I have never forgotten. And it's something that's kind of, thinking about it now, I wonder if it's become a core part of my personality in a way, like, as far as the understanding that giving is so powerful, and how important it is when you can just randomly do something like that and make someone's day, make a little boy's day. Now obviously never saw this man again. I don't know him, I don't know anything, but here I am all these years later talking about him, and that moment inspired me to do the same thing, 25, 30 years later for someone else. And it's so cool because when that little boy grows up, who I gave the 10, right? He'll probably slide, another little boy like a 20, because by then, you know, you're gonna need at least a 20 to get some snacks. but but by the time that, and it's just like this cycle that perpetuates itself of giving and love, and just how important and how powerful that is. And it's I don't think it's something that's really talked about a lot. And well, yes, other people talk about giving, but there's something about giving in the way that, in like an integrity way. It's not like I'm giving to a charity and there's all these hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars because I get a tax write off for doing that. So it's not really out of the kindness of your heart. It's a business move, right? It's giving because it just is a good thing to do. It feels good. It uplifts you. And it's like that type of thing. Something that you don't do it because you're trying to get followers on social media. It's something you're doing because it just genuinely benefits other people and yourself. Really, it just feels good to do good. And it was like, this is really neat. Like, I like that. I like the idea of doing good just to do good. And then realizing that by doing good just to do good, but it also feels good and it does good to me. And the implications, I think, are greater than what I can even conceive in my mind. But yeah, there's a ripple effect, and I feel like if more people took, that, if they made that kind of effort, if they just did random acts of kindness, and it was in whatever way that you can. Isn't, it's not all about money. It's about the intention. It's about the energy, and energy is many, many, many different forms, whatever that may look like. But it's like, don't underestimate the value of that one kind act. Like, you could literally be saving someone's life. And I don't even say that is, I'm, what story was I reading? I was reading a story. This was sometime last year. This was recent, let's say in the last 5 or so months. And I was reading a story, and the guy was saying how he was telling his friend, like 10 years later, maybe they were out of college or something, or still in college. And he was telling his friend how one random day you saved his life because he stopped and was talking to him and asking him about some things that he liked about, this and that, and his kind of favorite things. And they sat and chatted for, a few hours or something. I think they were still in, early, mid grade school, maybe like seventh or eighth grade or something like that. And the one guy was going to, he was going to end it. He was going to go and end it all. And the other guy just, started talking to him completely unaware, just being a kind human being. And, he admitted to his friend, like, you saved my life that day. And I was just like, wow, that's so powerful. Like, the just one kind conversation, just one giving a damn moment for just somebody could literally save their life. And then, you're just unaware, just blissfully just doing your, oh, he just seems like a cool guy. We're gonna, hang out. We talk about the toys and the comics and stuff that we like or whatever. But for him, it's everything. It's everything. And just that is, and you know, when you struggle with, like, if you struggle with mental health, or if you have struggled with that, or just any kind of struggles, and somebody just shows up for you, and they just allow you to talk, and they listen actively, and they're not in a rush, it means so much. And it's just like, and I don't even think it necessarily takes a whole lot of time. Simon Sinek was I was listening to something that he was like an interview, and he was talking about like a friend of his that was reaching out for help, but he didn't realize it because the way she phrased it sounded just like when they just hang out regularly, like, hey, you want to hang out? Nothing, there wasn't any urgency. But he had said that there was a study that was done, and it was like when people need help, what they really need more than anything is at least it's like 8 minutes of someone to just to listen and to talk to about it. And I'm just like, 8 minutes. How little bit of time is that? It's such a small amount of time, but the impact is so massive. It's such a In the 24 hours that we get, you burn 8 minutes on social just scrolling and not even realizing it. But 8 minutes of just, hey, can I just lay some things on you real quick because I'm struggling with something, and hey, yeah, sure, what's up, what's going on, to be able to offer that, and it's so meaningful, and it's so helpful. So there's a lot to be said about kindness. There's a lot to be gained. And even if someone doesn't actively know that you're doing it, just know that you are benefiting. So be intentional. Be intentional about the words that you say and the thoughts that you think and the energy from which these thoughts are being put out into the world. Because if you can think about someone from through the lens of love and joy, it's a totally different energy that they receive that you think of them while you're feeling angry or hatred. It like the difference, it's night and day, and the impact of it. So you don't want to be putting that kind of stuff on people or yourself. I mean, this isn't just for other people too. This is even sending that kind of stuff to yourself. It's like, it's not a good thing. So I thought of that while I was doing some dowsing. I was just like, you know what, that's really fascinating, and I just wanted to speak on it. So that's it for today. If you like this, then come back for more Jupiter talks. Ooh, maybe I should call this Jupiter talks. I don't know. But until next time, people, I'm Johnny Jupiter, and remember, there is no outro. Subscribe if you like. I'll at you tomorrow, but go get me some tea or something.